Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and today we're looking at a bunch of really cool new cards revealed. These are some of them, I'd say the bulk of them are from Abyss Eye. This is the expansion featuring Mega Darkrai EX, which is pretty exciting. It's, one of the new megas here. I will talk about whether the card is exciting or not. A bit of a spoiler, it's not super exciting, but we have this set releasing May 22nd, this is a Japanese set releasing in Japan. Internationally, as in like outside of Japan, in like America where I am, and things like that. It's going to be releasing in I think it's like a couple of months. Oh, here we go. Pitch Black. The name of the set is Pitch Black. And it's releasing July 17th there. So it'll pretty much be here. It says Pitch Black will be, again, nearly a one-to-one adaptation of the Japanese set, meaning it too will be a pretty small set here. So yeah, I made a video talked about that a little while ago, but also Mega Darkrai looks like kind of cool here. But anyways, we'll be taking a look at some cards, but we first need to take a look at these cards here. These ones are gym promos in Japan. These cards will be coming later. Most of these are reprints, like, I guess the seals are reprint and stuff, but yeah, like Pokepad and Shaman and stuff. But the cards we're looking at here are going to be the two new ones, Mega Delphox EX and Grisham. Grisham is the first card we'll take a look at here. It's a supporter, very simple card, but it says heal 50 from all Pokemon and play both yours and your opponents. This card is really interesting, in my opinion, specifically kind of due to its counterplay to Munkidori and Frostlass and other spread stuff as well. Currently, I don't think there's very good healing in Standard. When I think of healing, I kind of think of Munkidori. We'll also mention Patrat in the next expansion internationally. This card is currently out in Japan. It's going to be it's in Ninja Spinner in Japan. It's going to be out in Chaos Rising internationally, which is releasing the same day Abyss Eye is releasing in Japan. It's a little confusing there. But anyways, Patrat here essentially just counters Munkidori. It technically counters some other stuff, but like not really. So you have that. And that card is, a counter to Munkidori. That being said, if your opponent's playing Frostlass, they can still pick away at this, and that is kind of bad, potentially. And it doesn't stop everything. It doesn't stop, like, Dragapult or anything. So Grisham here heals 50 from all Pokemon, healing it from your own Pokemon. If your opponent's spreading around their damage counters on your side of the board, that can be really nice and heal a lot. On the other hand, if they're also, using Frostlass or whatever to get damage counters on their side of the board and then moving over the Munkidori, that will stop it. We saw the card Picnic Basket, which is similar. It's an item, so it's a lot better and heals 30 from each Pokemon in play, which is still usually enough. But this card did legitimately see a good amount of play to really just counter Munkidori and a few other spread things as well, like Dragapult EX and things like that. But Grisham could see play. I don't think it's a super good card, but I think it's not a super bad card either. I imagine a lot of people look at this will probably be like, this doesn't seem very good, but it could be good. Also, healing your opponent's Pokemon can be useful if you're trying to like trap a Pokemon or something like that. I don't think that's super meaningful, but I will mention it here. But Mega Delphox EX is obviously a Stage 2 Mega, so 3 prizer. We saw Mega Greninja EX being a pretty cool card. I think I just made a video on it. I think it was the thumbnail was like Fraud Watch or something, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Mega Delphox EX is not as good. Generally, these cards here aren't going to be super good, but they're not bad. A lot of the times they're like super filler. But Mega Delphox EX, the first attack for 1 Fire Trick Portal. Look at the top 9 cards of your deck and put as many Pokemon as you find there onto your bench. Shuffle the other cards back. This is kind of cool. I guess, quote, cheating Pokemon to play. Obviously, the issue here is using a setup attack on a 3 prize Stage 2, and the speed of this card is going to be probably like not faster than setting up the Pokemon normally. So essentially it's not good. Yeah, I was gonna say not very good. It's pretty bad. You're not going to be hitting Pokemon very consistently either. We see Tatsugiri EX in Standard. That card is quite bad as well. It is a lot more energy, but also it's a 2 prize basic, so it's going to be a lot more durable. It is also like super squishy. Tatsugiri EX, Mega Delphox EX is like fine, I guess. I mean, 350 HP compared to most Pokemon is, very high there, but compared to Stage 2 Megas, it's kind of meh. But then we also see the other attack, Eerie Glow for Fire Colorless, doing 200 and Burning and Confusing. This is okay, I guess. It's not very good, I'm not gonna lie. It's not that much damage. I mean, it's like okay, I guess, but it's certainly not super impressive there. And then in terms of the other effect, Confusion can be okay, but usually isn't very good. And then burn is, I mean, it's a little extra damage, right? Which is cool. I think, is there burn synergy? Yeah, there's like the Mag Mortar, which is like a thing. I haven't really seen the card played very much, or played like with. I played it with it some and seen it played a little, but it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. As I said, I have seen it some because it's cool, but not because it's good. But anyways, this card is, it's kind of whatever. There's the current Delphox, or wait, is the card out right now, or is it in the next set? It's in the next set. It's in Ninja Spinner / Chaos Rising. This set before Abyss Eye / Pitch Black that lets you have an ability to like draw, and then also you could do damage based on energy attached to Pokemon. I suppose I will mention you compare this card, which I don't think this card's very good. I've heard a few people say it's good, but I really don't agree with that. But anyways, this card is kind of cool, and you need some way to get a bunch of, presumably basic fire energies onto your board, and that way is presumably going to be Oricorio EX, especially with Mega Delphox EX. Mega Delphox EX is, of course, a Mega Fire Pokemon, which is what you need for the Oricorio EX to actually work. And in some ways, if you wanted to play a deck with Oricorio EX, this is an option. The Delphox line, I would say Mega Charizard, which I haven't really seen played much post-rotation. I've seen it like once or twice, and it hasn't been super good, but theoretically, if it works, it's really nice. But anyways, if you want to play Oricorio EX, I'd probably play it that way. There's also going to be presumably Mega Heatran that's hopefully fire at some point. So, yeah, if that happens, then that would potentially be better. Obviously, we're getting into a lot of like theorizing about stuff that doesn't really matter too much right now. But I like to talk about future stuff. That's fun. But then we have the actual Abyss Eye set, of course, with Mega Darkrai EX here. I will mention there are some enablers for this card before we hop into it. They are, I actually don't remember. I looked at them like earlier today, but I kind of forget exactly what they do. We'll see that in a second. But you have this attack here, Night Raid for 2 Darkness. You do 110. If any of your bench don't have any damage counters on them, it does 110 more. This attack's actually pretty decent here. I'm not going to lie. It's not amazing, but it's not that hard to power up. Currently in Standard, we have like a Darkness box deck with Toxtricity, I guess. I mean, it's not super good or super played or seen, but it does exist, but that's not allowing you to attack turn 1. We also see Mega Absol EX, obviously a pretty decent Darkness Mega there, and that card is a basic, but it also has, I believe is the second attack 1 Darkness or 2? I don't know. I know the first one's 1. Oh, I should not have searched Mega, but Sunk Cost Fallacy. I'm looking for it. So Mega. Oh, I guess there's more than I thought. Okay, well I found the card, I guess. So it's 2 Darkness, but it is a colorless, right? It's a colorless in each of the attack costs there, meaning that you can use Teal Sugar Pontiacs or whatever like Crispin to power it up as well, which you can't really use here. I mean, you technically could use Crispin, but like not really, right? And generally with Crispin, if you're using a deck that's like mostly one type, the other type's going to be. Oftentimes you see it being Darkness for Monkey Dory. So obviously your second type will not be Darkness because that's your first type. So definitely a kind of clunky attack to set up. There is no Dark Patch. If that was the case, this would be a bunch better. But 220 for 2 on a basic is pretty good, and a Risky Ruins kind of just sets it up. So it works decently. I definitely do not hate this card here. And then, or this attack. Then Abyss Eye, which is of course the name of the set as well. 3 Darkness, if your opponent's active with any special conditions, is now, or is affected by any special condition, is now knocked out. And this is kind of cool, but again, it's so, like, I said 2 Darkness is a little clunky. Yes, this essentially does more damage. There are ways to stop it. Stopping effects of attacks will stop this. And that is something you might see. But, like, I don't know, it's kind of clunky. In terms of ways to inflict a special condition, I guess actually the best one is going to be, which I actually was kind of talking about earlier, is Volcanion EX. Well, I didn't actually talk about it. I talked about Magmortar, which is meant to pair with this, and Volcanion EX is a lot better. If it's in the active, you burn your opponent. I don't know if there's a better way in Standard right now. I'm trying to think. It's just not something to think about. There is, I guess, a Brambleghast, which is on play. It confuses. There is... Brambleghast is stage 1, by the way. Of course. So you can loop it. You can loop it with Strange Timepiece. It's a card I love. It's not very good though. But anyways, you can get the special condition like relatively easily, but the energy is kind of awkward. And you could use Toxtricity, but it's like it's not super good. I'd probably rather attack with Mega Absol, which is fine, but not amazing. And then we have this Inkay, which search for an item, cool, I guess. And then Malamar here. This one confuses, and also if your opponent's active is confused, it does 130 for 1. Kind of funny with like Brambleghast or something. Obviously not super good there, but it is kind of cool. have Zarud. This one, oh yeah, there's a special energy which is called Shadow Darkness energy. We'll get to that one. But if any of your bench Pokemon has Shadow Darkness, then it does 70 more, so it's 170 for 3, or 30 and wait, what? Overhead throw 30. It does 30 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. Is that a typo, or is that maybe that is correct for synergy with Mega Darkrai EX? I don't know. That's like not very good either way. But anyways, this card is not super good. Even 170 for 3. I mean, it's kind of clunky. We got Chiyu here, a Darkness one. Oh yeah, the item, that one confuses. Okay. But Chiyu here it says 20, but then if this Pokemon has 2 or more damage counters on it, it does 90 more damage and doesn't apply weakness. This is same as Moltres? Wait, this isn't the right Moltres. Wrong Moltres. This old Moltres. It's actually not the same. So it's similar. But anyways, we've seen cards like this, and Chiyu is. I mean, yeah, this is decent, right? You know, it's able to do decent damage turn 1. Again, well, actually, no. I was going to say Risky Ruins because, you know, that enables Mega Darkrai EX. Mega Darkrai EX, the Pokemon does not need to be darkness, right? No. Of course, Chiyu is darkness, though. So, well, Risky Ruins, if you didn't know, is there another card like Risky Ruins? I don't know. But or in standard. I feel like there is that I'm just blanking on. I'll search for that in a second. But whenever any player puts a or a basic non-darkness Pokemon onto their bench, they put 2 damage counters on their Pokemon. Of course, these are all darkness. So you'll pair this with like something that's not darkness for Mega Darkrai EX, but Chiyu doesn't get the damage counters on it. So kind of clunky. Let me look quickly at the stadiums in standard to see if there's something obvious I'm forgetting. I forgot there's Dizzying Valley with this confusion synergy there. Kind of bad. But yeah, it doesn't look like it. I don't think there's anything like that. So that's kind of clunky. There could be something I'm forgetting. I mean, there's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. There isn't really any super good synergy, but theoretically, if there is, this card's good. Then we have Dark Bell, both active Pokemon, except any Darkness Pokemon are now confused. Oh, I guess part of the synergy is like, oh, if you confuse yourself as well, then you damage yourself. I mean, you can't even confuse yourself with, I don't think, any of these cards. But anyways, this card is actually, this is the same, or not the same. It's similar to Team Yell Towel or something like that. I don't know. No, that's not the right card. Team Yellhorn or something. I think that's the card. But anyways, it just confused both actives. This is actually, it was used in Control Some. I personally didn't like to play the card, but it was decent. So I will mention it can definitely be good for that. But then also, it enables confusion. I do think Volcanion EX enabling a special condition is going to be a little better, but this card is definitely decent. And the Malamar deck is actually, I mean, how much damage was it? It's 130. The damage is pretty bad, but it is like not too hard to set up. Then you have the last card here, Shadow Darkness Energy, as long as, oh, also, I, like a couple of days ago, made a video on talking about predicting the future special energies. By the way, I was wrong, in case you couldn't have guessed that. But anyways, the Pokemon that's attached to it, you know, provides a darkness energy there. And then if it's attached to a darkness, then you prevent all damage done by your opponent's attacks to the bench darkness Pokemon this card's attached to. So it's like a bench barrier effect. It's not very good, I would not say. Protecting your bench is fine. I mean, it can be good, but also it stops damage, right? It doesn't stop damage counters or like other. It is from attacks as well. It's not stopping damage counters from abilities either. Which, you know, a lot of the best cards like this are damage counters. So this is actually, in practicality, I don't think very good. I think even something like Rocky Fighting Energy is probably going to provide better protection on the bench. And even with that card, you really want to be attaching random special energies to your bench Pokemon because you usually don't have the time for it. Not that it's terrible, but, you know, it just won't be useful a lot of the time. But I don't know. Yeah, this card seems kind of random. It doesn't really feel like it has much synergy with anything. Actually, no. If anything, it feels like it has anti-synergy because you want damage counters on your own Pokemon to some extent. I mean, it is kind of synergy because if you're putting damage counters on your own Pokemon, they're going to be weaker, and then you want protection for them. Maybe? I don't know. It feels pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. So there's other reveals here, but there's some cool things. I do think Dark Bell as a control piece, and I guess in some sense also Grisham as a control piece could be cool as well. Overall, I think these reveals are kind of mid. I was considering making a video on this like the day it came out. I'm doing it a little later than that, like waiting a day because it just works better with my schedule. But I did not feel the need to rush these out because they're kind of not good, as in they're all kind of bad. But there are some interesting cards. As I said, I do think Dark Bell is probably going to be a played card in Control. I haven't really seen people play Control much. I haven't tried it much either, but it definitely is kind of interesting as well. But anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these cards in the comment section. And also huge shouts to my YouTube members for supporting the channel. It really does help support me. I really, really do appreciate it. And also shouts to everyone who likes and subscribes, which can be you and should be you because it's free and it's like cool and it helps support me. But I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.